Let's talk about investing. For a lot of people, that one word brings up these crazy images of complicated charts, flashing numbers, and experts on Wall Street yelling into phones. But what if I told you that's all just a myth? Well, today, we're going to bust that myth wide open and show you just how simple investing can actually be. So, let's just get straight to the point, right? Is investing really only for the pros? Is it too complex, too risky, or just way too confusing for the average person? The answer, my friends, is a huge, loud, definite no, not at all. And this right here says it all. I'm serious. Just think about it for a second. If you can figure out how to order a burger or a pizza on your phone, you already have all the technical skills you need to start investing. This isn't about being some kind of financial wizard. It's just about learning a few simple, straightforward rules. Okay, but let's be honest. If it's so simple, why does it feel so hard? We have to talk about this giant myth that makes investing seem like this impossible mountain to climb. And hey, if you're feeling a little confused or maybe even a bit scared, that is totally normal. You are definitely not alone in that.
This is basically why it feels so overwhelming. I mean, look at this. First, you've got the jargon overload, right? All these weird words like equities and yields and PE ratios being thrown around. Then there's that very real, very understandable fear of losing your hard-earned money. On top of that, you've got so-called gurus all over social media promising you'll get rich overnight. And you're left holding this map that just leads nowhere. It's no wonder so many of us feel completely lost before we even start.
But here is the good news. We're about to pull back the curtain on all of that nonsense. Because the big secret to investing, well, it's that there is no secret. It's really all built on just a handful of simple, core ideas that anyone, and I mean anyone, can understand.
So let's start with the absolute basics. What's the difference between saving and investing? Think of saving like your emergency fund. It's for safety, for short-term needs. You're basically just parking your money somewhere safe. Investing, on the other hand, that's about growth. That's about making your money get up and go to work for you, building long-term wealth.
And the thing that powers all of that growth is a little bit of magic called compounding. It's this idea that's so powerful, Einstein apparently called it the eighth wonder of the world. Basically, it's when your money makes money, and then that new money starts making even more money. Imagine a tiny snowball at the top of a really long hill. As it rolls, it gets bigger and bigger, all by itself. That's compounding.
Let me show you what I mean. Imagine you invest just $100. After the first year, maybe it grows to $107. Okay, not life-changing, I get it. But in year 2, you're earning a return not just on your original 100, but on the whole 107. Now fast forward 30 or 40 years. That one single investment, without you ever adding another penny, could grow into something really significant. That is the magic.
So, why is making your money grow so important? Well, because there's this silent force that's always working against you, eating away at the value of your cash. It's called inflation. It's the reason a cup of coffee that used to cost $1 now costs you $4 or $5. Over time, the money you have buys less and less stuff.
And this right here is the key thing to understand. If your money is just sitting in a savings account, inflation is like this invisible enemy, silently making your money weaker year after year. So investing isn't just about trying to get rich. It's actually a defensive move to protect the value of the money you've already worked so hard for.
All right, so you get the why. Now let's get into the how. What do you actually need to get started on this path? I promise you, it is way less than you think.
Here's the list. A phone or a laptop, which, let's be real, you're probably using to watch this right now. An internet connection, and a legitimate app or website to invest through. That's pretty much it. But notice what's not on this list? A giant pile of cash. The most important tool, honestly, is the one you see on the right, a patient mindset. That is your real superpower in all of this.
So where do you start? Where do you put your money? Well, for beginners, one of the best tools out there is something called an ETF. Don't worry about the fancy name. Just think of it like this. Instead of trying to find the one perfect company to invest in, the one golden egg, an ETF lets you buy a whole basket of eggs all at once. It's instant diversification, which is just a fancy way of saying you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
And there you have it, your super simple 4-step beginner roadmap. First, set a goal. Why are you even doing this? Second, pick an easy-to-use platform. Third, just start with a small amount. Seriously, it doesn't have to be a fortune. And fourth, and this one is the most important of all, you have to think in years, not in days. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, let's talk strategy. And I'm going to tell you something that the movies always get wrong.
Successful investing is actually kind of boring, and that's a good thing. It's supposed to be a calm, steady walk down a path, not some crazy rocket ship ride to the moon.
One of the best boring strategies is called dollar cost averaging. I know, it sounds complicated, but it is dead simple. All it means is that you invest the same amount of money on a regular schedule, like, say, $50 on the first of every single month. That's it. You're not trying to time the market or guess if it's going up or down. You're just being consistent. It puts your discipline on autopilot.
This slide really shows the two different paths you can take. Over on the left, you've got the long-term investor. It's slow, it's steady, it's consistent, like the tortoise. Over on the right, you've got the short-term gambler, riding this wild, terrifying roller coaster of fear and greed. We are focusing on the left, because the stuff on the right, that's not investing. That's just taking a trip to the casino.
And to make sure you stay on that steady path, you've got to avoid these common traps. Number 1, panic selling when the market goes down. And trust me, it will go down sometimes. You have to stay calm. 2, checking your phone every 5 minutes. Don't do it. Set it and try to forget it. And number 3, please, whatever you do not just blindly copy some influencer you saw online. You need to stick to your own simple, boring plan. This quote really says it all, doesn't it? The goal here isn't the thrill of the gamble. The goal is the peace of mind that comes from a solid plan, letting your money work quietly for you in the background while you go out and actually live your life. And that brings us to our last and honestly our most important section. We've talked about the tools, we've talked about the strategies, but all of that is the easy part. The real key to success, the one thing that truly separates successful investors from everybody else, is all about your mindset.
So let's be absolutely crystal clear. Investing is not magic. There is no secret spell or hidden formula. It is simply about planting a seed, watering it consistently, and then having the patience to just let it grow. It's more like gardening than it is sorcery.
And you do not need to be a financial genius to be a good gardener. You just need discipline. The discipline to stick with your plan, to keep investing even when the news looks scary, and to ignore all the noise. I'm telling you, in the long run, simple, boring discipline will beat flashy, complicated genius every single time. This right here should be your mantra, your main goal. Stop trying to get rich quick. Start focusing on just staying invested for the long haul. The real power isn't in trying to hit some once-in-a-lifetime home run. It's just in consistently showing up year after year after year.
So there you have it. Investing isn't some exclusive secret club. It is not rocket science. The tools you need are probably already in your pocket. The roadmap is clear, and the strategy is simple and, yes, boring. The only question left is the one you see right here. The person you'll be in 10, 20, 30 years is waiting, and that one small, simple step you take today could change everything for them. So what's it going to be?